Hi, it's Mr. Skrinjar again here at the Utica Shale Academy. Again, I'm the intervention specialist, and today we're going to do another instructional video to help support anyone who needs a little bit of help doing some of their math. Again, look what we have here today. It's Jinxie Joanne Jingles. She's here to be a guest appearance, and we're going to start calling this Jinxie Joanne Jingles Math. All right, so Joe, you ready to go? Let's get it started. Okay, today we are working on Math Integrated 3, 1 through 18. This is Unit 18. We're going to work on question number 17. This is in the first semester final. What I'd like to do is, again, create a parallel or very similar problem to go ahead and help out with this one so you can relate those and then go ahead and watch this and for step how to complete. The instructions for this question is, what is the slope-intercept form of a line that passes through the point 1, 4 and is perpendicular to the given function? State the letter, the correct answer. The equation that's given is y equals 2x, or y equals 2/3 x plus 5. I've really highlighted some important information. The 1/4, the point 1/4 is very important. That's going to definitely be used. And then the actual word perpendicular is very, very important because you can either have a line that is parallel or perpendicular. So we are going to actually look through this. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, I have created a problem. As you can see, it is very similar to question number 17 on the semester final. Y equals 2/5, and then I'll add in the x. Plus 7 is what I've used as a very similar problem. Or they've given you the line or the point 1/4, 1, 4, and we're going to go ahead and get started. Okay, first thing foremost, we have to start about what our slope is. Our slope currently is m equals 2/5. Okay, that is our slope. Now, they want a line that is perpendicular. So we must know that in order to get a line that is perpendicular, we must do something to our original slope. And the slope is anything, the number that comes before the x. So what we have to do is we have to flip and use the opposite sign, which is called the opposite reciprocal. So if we want a perpendicular line, it must be opposite reciprocal, which would mean 5/2. That would give us a perpendicular line. The next step is we have to go ahead and insert the point that is given. So in order to do that, we have to start off by saying y. We got to subtract the y value that they give you, or the y coordinate, which is 4, equals, use our -5 halves as our new perpendicular slope. So we insert that. We also have to put a parenthesis because we're going to take the x coordinate that they give us and subtract it as well. So we get that step right there. Now we must start to work through this and simplify. So I'd like to start on this side first. It's a little bit easier. So -5 halves times the x, which is going to do this distributive property, is going to give you -5 halves x. All right? -5 halves times the -1, when we do the distributive property, is going to give you a +5 halves. Okay? And now you can bring down your y minus the 4. Okay? We're not finished yet because y has to be all by itself in order to be in the slope-intercept form. So this -4 has to go to the other side. So I like to, once it crosses that line, you change the sign. So now it becomes y equals -5 halves x plus 5 halves plus that 4. Okay? When you're getting that, all right, now that -4 is gone because you took it to the other side. Now we must put in y equals -5 halves x. Okay, that is our line. It's going to be perpendicular. Now looking at this, we have to simplify. 5/2 plus 4 is actually going to be, what we need to look and see is off to the side. You can take 2 and 1/2 plus 4 off to the side, because that's what 5/2 is, 2 and 1/2. All right. If you add those up, you're going to get 6 and 1/2. Okay. And most oftentimes they want you to make this into a improper fraction. So you can do that. 2 times 6 is 12, plus the 1 is 13. So your answer would be 13/2. So a line that is perpendicular in the slope-intercept form ends up being y equals negative 5/2 x plus 13/12, or 13/2, or 6/2. 6 and 1/2. The big thing in this is when they tell you to make a perpendicular line. The perpendicular line, the rule is take the original slope, which they gave you, which was 2/5. That's the original slope. You need to flip that and make it opposite, which is considered the opposite reciprocal. That's how you get a line that is perpendicular. So our new slope in this line is very important that we put in the perpendicular, which is the opposite reciprocal, negative 5/2. And then we need to insert the very important point that they give you. And that's where I subtracted y minus that y value, and then x minus the x value that is provided. You work that out, follow the steps, and then you can go ahead and find out the line that is needed, which ended up being y equals negative 5/2 x plus 13/2. This is just a little bit of assistance. If you have any questions, please get a hold of me through the Remind app, or use a Skype appointment. We can set up an appointment on how to work through a couple problems. Again, I have the access to show you and sharing my screen. I appreciate any feedback, or you can also do that by going through the Remind app, or you can email me at michael.skrinjar@southern.k12.oh.us. Thank you very much, and I appreciate all your help.